Hey everyone, it's Hugh Culver, the author of Give Me a Break and the founder of the Experts Intensive, and I'm really excited to be with you today. I want to share with you in this video something that I have discovered in my business in the expert industry. So first of all, what is the expert industry? Well, frankly, when I started as a trainer teaching self-employment training some 18 years ago, I didn't even know there was something called the experts industry. The experts industry is for speakers, seminar leaders, authors, and coaches and facilitators. It's for people that have expertise. It's people that want to share their expertise with others. So whether that's with individuals, whether it's with people that are in the workplace, people that work from home, it's working with companies and organizations or not-for-profits. It's a wide spectrum of things that people do in the expert industry to serve others, to help people to succeed more, to help people to accelerate their growth, and also for the experts to profit and to succeed as well. So this is a whole industry, and it's an exciting industry to be in. I mean, where else can you help people to move their business forward in accelerated fashion as opposed to the way they would normally do it? Where else can you help people to get out of their own little, their own issues and get past the barriers that are holding them back? Like, where else can you work with athletes? And where else can you work with people that are CEOs? And where else can you create a business that's highly profitable, that's also flexible and serves your own personal needs? So that's the expert industry. And I think there's no better time than right now to be in the expert industry. I mean, just think about what's going on with our economy as it's slowly getting on its feet again. All the issues to do with the environment, the aging population. I mean, the youth who are seeking solutions in their life. And as a father of 2 teenage daughters, I mean, I know that they're going through all sorts of struggles as they try to find their place. Well, all of these people and companies and not-for-profits, they need help. They need guidance, and that's where the experts come in. Now, there's only one problem. And the problem in the expert industry, if you want to participate in it, is that you have to be an entrepreneur. You have to be a business owner. And it's taken me a long time to come to grips with that. It's taken me a long time to understand that, if I want to be successful in the expert industry, if I want to serve all these people and to be able to see all these successes be created, then I need to get serious about the fact that this is a business. I think that a lot of people that are attracted to this industry, whether again they're a facilitator or they're a seminar leader or speaker, they're attracted because they're passionate about what they do. They have a real passion for working with youth, or they have a real passion for helping people who are in the workplace or working with project teams. But what they need to understand is that for that passion to be executed, for that passion to be put into work and to be able to help people, you need to have the business back end so that you can actually get the business in the first place, you can actually deliver the goods, and you can actually close the cycle so that your client is happy, thrilled, and satisfied and telling other people, and you are happy, thrilled, and satisfied and profiting as a result. And then when I started, I was a trainer, as I said. So for many years, I showed up, taught a course, went home, and thought that was great. And then that led to bigger contracts, and that led to me bringing on more staff, and that led to me getting bigger offices, and that led to all sorts of advances in my business. But I still thought of myself as a trainer. In other words, I still thought of myself as working from event to event. And in fact, I would argue that a lot of people in the expert industry are at their best when they have an event coming up 48 hours from now. So when they have the event on their calendar, suddenly they get serious. Suddenly they start to prepare, of course. They start to make phone calls and do their research and plan their documents and their worksheets and they start to plan the curriculum or whatever they are doing. And in those remaining 48 hours, they are at their best. Well, my thinking is that if you're going to be able to do that in order to serve that client at such an extraordinary level, you probably need to use those same skills, those same habits for your business as a whole. So rather than running from event to event, what if you were actually to maintain that sort of focus and that sort of set of habits throughout the year? So, well, what is the ingredient? What is the one thing that you need to have? And I would actually say that this is actually the thing that most experts are lacking in. You know, they're fantastic on stage, don't get me wrong. They're fantastic on the phone when they're talking to their coaching client. They're fantastic as they're typing up their report or putting together their curriculum. But there's one skill set that they need to master. Now, I've created a program called Experts Intensive. Some of you have already heard of it. Hopefully, some of you have already attended. And in the Experts Intensive, we go through this in much more detail because it is the one ingredient that I think that all of the participants in Experts Intensive need to walk away with. But in this video, I want to give you kind of a snapshot of what it is and some of the basic components that go into this one skill set. So what is the thing that all experts need? Well, here it is. That's it. Discipline. Now, I know I'm going to start to sound like your parents here, but the reality is that we have a lot of discipline when it comes to taking care of our clients. Like we're on the phone at the right time, we're at the meeting at the right time, we're prepared, we look good, we got the workbooks, awesome. We're great in terms of discipline for the event, but I'm saying you need discipline around your business. You know, I am constantly talking to people in the expert industry, either because I'm coaching them or I'm trying to help them out or I'm doing my research. And what I find is that they don't have a clear set of objectives. They don't have discipline around how they operate their week. They don't have a discipline around how they run their office. And so their skills don't get out there. They are not as busy as they should be. And if you want to truly profit, if you want to be successful in this industry, you need to have discipline. You need to have a skill set that actually is going to get you organized and get you moving forward in the right direction all the time. I mean, frankly, let's be honest here. Most of us are helping our clients to be more disciplined. Most of us are out there helping our clients to work from strategy, to stick to their plans, to show up on time, to use great communication skills, to deal with conflict when it comes up. Well, isn't that all about discipline? I mean, if we're going to show our clients how to be exceptional with discipline, don't you think that we need to be walking our talk? So in this video, I want to share with you 6 components of discipline that all of us could probably improve in right away. And again, in Experts Intensive, I go through this in more detail, but I think that this should help you out with some really basic information to get started with right now. So what's the first part of discipline? Well, the first part in my mind is the big picture. And that starts with goals and tracking. So you can't be successful unless you know where you're going. You can't get out of bed in the morning and put in productive hours if you don't know what the results are going to be. In other words, you could be busy, of course, but are those productive hours? Are you being effective unless you understand where you want to go? I think that everybody in the expert industry should have a goal around how big do you need your list to be by the end of the year? Like, what are you doing to grow your list? Because list is power. The bigger your list, the bigger the list of contacts that you've got, the bigger the list of influencers, or what we call decision makers, the bigger the list of people that are colleagues, the more power you have. You should have a goal around that. You should have a goal around how many events that you want to deliver. So if you're a coach, how many coaching hours or clients? If you're a speaker, how many speaking events? If you're a facilitator, how many, and on it goes. The more clarity you have in your goals, the more focused you'll be with your time. You know, when I'm teaching time management, I always joke about the day before vacation. The day before vacation is when suddenly we become highly effective. Why? Well, because we're going on vacation. So in a few days, we're out the door, or in a few hours, we're out the door. And so the day before vacation, we suddenly have a clear desk, we're making decisions, we're crossing things off our list, we're being ruthless around how we use our time. Well, I believe that's because we have a clear goal. So how do we create clear goals? We simply have to sit down and decide what's really important to you. And then we have to decide, how am I going to track it? You see, it's one thing to create New Year's resolutions, but it's another thing to actually create them and actually track your results. If you want to create great results in your life, whether it's around your business profitability, your client growth, the number of events you do, or even how your fitness level is, you need to have goals and you need to track them on a weekly basis. So this is the first thing. Now, if you're listening to me right now and you're thinking to yourself, well, honestly, I'm a little weak in this area, well, here's your homework. The first thing you need to do is you need to set aside time, maybe this weekend or on a Friday, and actually get out a blank sheet of paper. And I recommend start from scratch. Get out a blank sheet of paper, and the first thing you want to do is create the categories before you create the goals. In other words, if you're thinking of a full circle of all the goals I need to have in my life, or in my business for that matter, there's a number of categories that you're probably interested in tending to. So for example, in your business, you probably have a category around maybe staffing or outsourcing some of the work. You have a category around profitability. You have a category around how much you want to work. So how many days do you want to actually be away from home or with clients? And so on and on it goes around the circle. So create the categories and then create a specific goal. The next step is to decide, well, how am I going to track that? So what do I need to do as a discipline every week to track it? So there's your first exercise, goals and tracking. The second part of discipline is we need to take care of the engine that gets it all done. I think that this is a often undervalued aspect of our discipline, and that is, what am I doing every day? What am I doing every day to put energy back in the battery? Dr. Jim Lohr says you can only expend as much energy as you create. So you can only give out as much energy as you create. We're not a bottomless pit of energy. So if you don't have a discipline around good diet, lots of hydration, rest, and exercise, that's exactly what you need to do right now. You need to get serious about the discipline of taking care of the energy that drives all of your success. You know what it's like when you have a cold and how impossible it is to find the energy to actually go out and create new success or get on the phone and call people or take care of problems or create new sales. Well, imagine if you have a slight cold all year long. I think that's what happens when you're not taking care of your health. So if you're listening to me right now and you're thinking, well, it's true, I actually could do better in that category, well, then the first thing you need to do is get serious about it and start to create a plan. And I recommend that you start really small. So you need to look at one thing in your diet that you could improve. One thing maybe in your morning routine that you could eat less of or eat better. Improve how much you get hydrated. So all day long, drink lots of water. That's the one thing, especially if you're a coffee drinker or tea drinker, that's going to help to keep your body refreshed and fuel your brain as well. You need to take care of the exercise and the sleep components. And it's not that difficult. Everybody has the same 24 hours in the day. You just need to decide what's important to you. Maybe you need to go to bed a little bit earlier so you can get up earlier and have that precious time in the morning. And then you need to manage your energy as well. And what I mean by that is you need to find time where you can actually stop work, where you can actually turn work off, where you can actually, go and read that novel just for the pure pleasure of reading a novel as opposed to another magazine or another business book. So the mind needs those breaks as much as the body does. Okay, so we got goals tracking, health and energy. These are two components already of what it is I think that's important discipline. The third one is all around your systems. So it's around office, whoops. There we go, we'll just take care of this. How's that? We're back. Okay, office systems. It's nice to have a little technical details taken care of as we go through the film so you can keep you entertained. All right, so this is another highly undervalued aspect of our operations is, well, how happy am I with my whole office? How happy am I with the system that I use to get my work done? For years, I just allowed stuff to accumulate, for clutter to come in, and my excuse was it wasn't that important. But actually, it is important. I think that everybody in the expert industry should be thinking about how could I run a business twice as large as what I currently have? So if you're a coach just getting started, design your business so it's twice as big. If you're a speaker with 10 years of experience, design your office so it can handle twice the business. So where are the systems that you need to put in place? Like, what do you need to outsource to other people so you're not doing low value work? What is it in your office you need so you can feel creative and productive, so that when someone phones you, you feel like you're on top of your game? And if you are listening to me and you're thinking that your office is full of clutter, that your systems are really kind of haphazard, and that you're sort of reinventing the wheel every time you get a job or you get a new contract, then you really need to look at this seriously in terms of your discipline. And it's no different than really the health and energy aspect. The better we take care of our office and our systems, the better we can handle the work more effectively and the more profit we're going to enjoy. So the first thing you need to do is do an inventory. So just like with the previous two, do an inventory of what is it that is awesome, that I like, I want to keep, what is it that needs to be improved, and the third thing is, well, what do I need to do this week to actually improve? It could be as simple as your improvement could be just get rid of a lot of clutter and feel like you've got a fresh start. Or it might be to identify 2 tasks that routinely have to be done every week or every month and find someone to outsource those to. Okay, so there's your 3 pieces of homework to get started. All right, the next one is around learning and improving. So in the expert industry, we are being paid for our expertise. So we are being paid to help people. It's assumed that we know something that they don't know. I mean, that's where the value exchange happens. They don't hire us because we're nice people, although hopefully we are. They hire us because we have something they don't have. Now it might be, it's not specifically around knowledge, but at the very minimum, it's around we know the kind of questions to ask. And I believe to be on top of your game, you need to have a discipline around your learning and your improving. So what is it that you've read lately that's informed you so you can serve your clients better? What have you learned around marketing that's going to help you to market your products and services better? What have you learned around writing a book, around creating product, around recording audio, recording DVDs? Like, what have you learned in the last week that helps you to be more effective with your business? So again, if you're listening to this and you feel like you've let that slide, your homework is to go and find some expert in the expert industry that can mentor you or inform you. So it could be in the form of go and purchase some online course, buy their book, go and watch their videos, read their blogs. But what are you doing every week so that you are becoming more informed, either in terms of your core expertise that people know you for and value you for, or in terms of how to run a successful business? And I've certainly found in my 18 years that one of the best investments for me is to get coaches, is to take training programs, is to go out and read books, and to constantly renew my excitement around this business as I grow my expertise. Okay, so we've got goals tracking, health and energy, office systems, we've got learning and improving, and we've got 2 more. And the next one is writing and products. When I phone experts in the expert industry and I interview them or I consult to them and coach them, usually the conversation turns towards these 2 things. And my question is, what have you written lately? So what have you written lately? And see, I have this basic argument, which is the more you write, the better you become. In fact, I could expand that to the more you read and write, the better you become, because I believe reading and learning and improving is super important as well. But the more you write, the better we become. Why? Because when we write, we get clear about what we believe in. When we write, we become better at explaining ourselves. When we write, we become better at being a speaker, because we can speak without having to have notes in front of us. Why? Because we're so clear about what we believe in. We're better on the phone because we can answer questions without having to have a whole pile of notes in front of us, because we've really thought through, because we had to put it on paper, we've thought through what we believe in, what our model is, what are the 3 things that people should do in this situation, what are the things people should not do. So I believe writing is a critical discipline if you want to grow in the expert. If you truly want to build a reputation as being an expert, you need to write. Now that could be in the form of a blog, obviously. It could be in the form of short articles or ebooks, or eventually it's in the form of a book that people could buy. But also writing is to prepare you to do something like what I'm doing today, which is to record a video or to record an audio program. So the more you write, the better you become. The better you become, the more valuable you become. And obviously the more valuable you become, the more wealthy you become. So it all starts with what you read and what you write. So if you are listening to this and you're thinking that you need to start writing more or start to learn more about how to create great products, then your homework is to get serious about a writing project, which could be a blog a week, or it could be to work on your first ebook. But whatever it is, I really believe you need to start by read lots of examples from the expert industry, read what people are writing, and then start to actually just get into the discipline of writing every day, like literally every day. And if you need to, start getting editors involved. But it's the discipline of writing every day that will get you into that mode of starting to think about, well, if I was to put that on paper, how would I complete that whole story? How would I complete that argument? If I was to retell that story, how would I wrap that into context and explain it in terms of the characters involved? If I was to come up with only 3 points to make my argument, well, what would be the 3 points? So all of this is around getting really clear about how to take all of your ideas and thoughts and the things that you consult on and put them on paper, put them on the computer, so that you can actually reproduce them, either in the form of a great speech, or in the form of a great consulting call to a client, or in the form of a product. So it all starts with writing. So your homework is to renew that discipline around writing. I believe the morning is the best time, and to get into a discipline of writing every morning and turn that into a product. Okay, and so we have one last one. So all of these are around preparation, energy and renewal. These are around systems and learning and products. And the last one, of course, is essential, because once we've done all of this, we need to have a way of using it, a way of getting that message out. So the last one is around marketing and sales. You know, if you're an expert in the expert industry, the bottom line is that eventually you need to market and you need to sell. Now, I know that a lot of us would prefer if people just came to us. Couldn't they just find us? Like, couldn't people just come to us and say, hey, I hear you are great, here's a bunch of money. But you know, the world doesn't work that way. And I think that, you know, in the last 5 years, it's become incredibly competitive in the expert industry, because we're all so available. You know, if you just type into Google leadership, or type in conflict resolution, or type in inspiration or humor, you are going to get hundreds and hundreds of hits of people that do something similar to what you do. So what we need to do is we need to strengthen this discipline, because the better we get at marketing ourselves, the better we get at sharing our story, using a lot of the new technologies like social media and blogging and articles and video like I'm doing today, the better we get at those disciplines, the better we're able to serve people, the better we're able to succeed in our service, and the better we're able to profit as a result of that. So we need to learn some of the basics around marketing. We need to have goals around marketing and selling. We also need to experiment, so we find out, well, what is our best way of doing it? So do we find ways to network with people? Do we have a list that we can reach out to and share information with them? Do we have a way of teaching people so that they can actually get a chance to try us on for size? Do we have a way to do free demonstrations? Do we have a way to have a mastermind group so that we can actually learn new marketing techniques? Whatever it is that you find is comfortable for you, you need to make that into a discipline, so you're not reinventing it all the time. So, you know, one of the best things that I did in my business was have a discipline around monthly goals for marketing, but also having a way that every week I'm doing things that expand my reach, where I'm getting out to new people. Every month I'm trying new ways of marketing. So, originally it was all just blogging and emails. And then I changed that, so then I started to develop ebooks that became quite popular. And then I started to use my book as a marketing tool. And now, of course, I'm using video as a marketing tool. And every time I try these new mediums, I educate myself in terms of, well, how do you do it and how to make it work? So I believe if you're feeling like you need to strengthen your marketing and sales, my advice would be get out there and experiment. Try new ways of reaching out. Look at what other people are doing and ask yourself, does that appeal to me? Do I respond well to that? Chances are pretty good if you respond strongly to that message that other people would respond as well. So now the next question is, well, how can you go out there and use that same medium and use those same tactics? So there we have it. So discipline is, I think, it's a key ingredient to our success. If we truly want to expand our reach, in the expert industry, if we truly want to serve more people, we need to have discipline and treat this like a business. Like, get serious, it is a business. And we need to have some of the framework, which is the goals and the tracking. We need to have our personal disciplines around our health and our energy and our office and our systems and our learning and improving. And then we need to get serious about how to get the word out there through our writing and through our products and through the discipline of marketing and sales. So I hope that helps you in terms of improving your business success. And in the Experts Intensive, which I'll be announcing soon, coming up in Vancouver, the Experts Intensive, we go into this in a lot more detail, of course, but what I want to do in this video is give you kind of a snapshot of how is it that I have changed my business so that I've been able to create really the kind of business that I'm proud of, that serves my community and also serves my family and will long term. And a lot of it had to do with getting serious about the fact that, look, if I'm going to be in the expert industry, I better have strong disciplines. So thanks for watching this. I hope this has helped you. In my next video, I'm going to talk about how I take these disciplines and I translate them down to a time management system. I think you're going to really enjoy this. A time management system so that I'm really organized every day, so I know what I need to do and I know when I'm getting off track. Okay, thanks a lot. Be your best. We'll see you soon.